Ruh-roh, Raggy. We have a Black Friday? Regos? Hey, this is High Council Studios, and I'm going to be talking about my Black Friday haul, a little about how I got each set, and why I got each set, and then also give you guys some pointers on how to get Legos at a good deal, what you could be doing, what you should be doing, just to make sure that you can get as many sets as you're looking to get, and what I like about these sets. So buckle in. Please do all the normal things, like sub, watch the end, all that kind of stuff. Let's get into it. All right, let's start with minifigures. And actually, let's start with sets instead. I think that's better. So I picked up 2 of the most recent battle packs with clones. And for this battle pack in particular, I got custom cloth waist pauldrons. Got these from a content creator who does custom work so that the clones will actually have their proper waist capes like they should have. Spice up the minifigures a little bit. And let's talk about the sets. So how did I get each of these sets for Black Friday? I got these both off Whatnot streams from 2 different content creators. And the benefit of getting them there is I got them for about 50% off. And then you factor in shipping, it's a little less than that. But what these YouTubers are doing is they're partnering with Whatnot. And when they partner with Whatnot, they're getting sponsored. So they're passing on the sponsored deals to normal people like you and I if you're fast enough to do the flash sale. Flash sales, get them while you can. They usually have, at least 100 or so units that they're able to run in those kind of promotions. And that is one way that you can find sets that you can either can't afford, stuff that's retired, that's hard to get, or, flash sales, any kind of good deals. Whatnot is a pretty good website as long as you have an idea of the value of what you're buying to get good deals and get stuff that's retired, get it from authorized sellers. Whatnot's really becoming a better alternative to eBay if you do it right, for especially big sellers. But I think they could engineer it so that and improve it anyways. The platform's great, but improve it so that smaller creators could get on there and get away from having to utilize eBay and their insane prices and hikes and fees and everything. So I got both of these, 50% discount plus shipping. Super proud to do that. I wasn't about to buy them at retail. This set here was around the same price on Walmart, but get it all delivered to me. I was happy with it. I actually really like this set on the right. It comes with an extra 2 battle droids. The build is slightly smaller, I would say, but not much. Probably around the very similar size. We're talking about a less than 40 piece difference here. And this set on the left retails for $40? It's insane. It's absolute lunacy that LEGO thinks that somebody would pay $40 for a battle pack. I get it if it's an anniversary thing and comes with a bunch of figs, but you could have done it like this other one on the right. I think this set on the right's a very good value. And I got these mostly just army build. Been getting rid of some of my Phase 2 clones and replacing them with these guys here. So I'm happy to have them. So Whatnot flash sale is definitely a good way to get things. That's also how I got these here. This guy, all these here. These are going to be custom upgrade tiles for the Republic Gunship. And I'm probably going to consider putting them on my UCS Gunship. These are all actually printed pieces because LEGO doesn't currently supply you with Plo Koon. There's a Padme version. There's a couple other ones in here. I thought this was sick. That's going to go great with my gunships. Got the Europe exclusive Quigon polybag from a flash sale, super cheap. So this is an upgrade kit for the Venator from M&R. Probably happy about this guy here. You can see they're all printed pieces. You go on the Venator to replace the stickered ones. I have the Blue Milk Luke. Very excited to get one of these. Should have got one a while ago, but didn't. Got a good deal. Alright, let's go to our next sets. Pick this puppy up. Why did I pick this puppy up? Where did I get it? They had a sale on Target. They also had a sale on Walmart, or Lego actually, I believe it was. And you could get these for $93, which is about 30% off or so. It was a solid, around $40 in savings. And reason being is the set's retired now, or it's going to retire at the end of the year. So it's going to disappear off store shelves. It's going to become really hard to get. And I think Republic Gunships are one of the safest Lego Star Wars investments that you could ever make. And not only that, but who doesn't want to have 3 Republic Gunships? I do. Unique things about this set that really spit out at me. Things that I really like about it. The alternate color scheme and alternate clones. That's a big driving force to this set. And more importantly, though, the minifigures. They never make Padme. The last Padme that I believe they made would have either been for a Clone Wars set or the Padme that came in the last Gunship in 2013, 12 years ago. And then we also have Palpatine in his Episode 3 outfit, the same one that he fought. At least I believe that's the Episode 3 outfit. Looks like it. The one that he fought Mace in and all the Jedi when Anakin turned to Vader. And then we have the Commander Fox. Commander Fox is a very cool minifig. They had a mistake, a production quality issue, where he wasn't printed right. So I think of it kind of like Photoshop layers. Layer underneath the layer. You start with the white layer that's the clone's armor and their helmet and stuff. And the issue that he had was that his helmet, his armor, the red on it wasn't applied correctly, so they didn't use enough in my mind, is what it was. Or the mixture wasn't quite right, something like that. And lo and behold, that made it so that the majority of these minifigs that were on the initial production line up until this year, they were all without correct coloring. And come this year, though, they actually fixed that issue. There was a lot of videos and pictures being shared all around showing the minifig with the correct coloring. So essentially that made a second variant of the minifig. And we all know how well the Qui-Gon Jinn second variant minifig did with the Sith Infiltrator that's about to retire this year. Turned one set into a gold mine, while the other set was retail. And I think we could definitely see that moving forward this year with this guy here. You have the new ones. I think you're gonna have something really special. You're gonna have the correct coloring, and it's gonna be more sought after by collectors. And also, I got 2 of these. They had 4 in the store. Wouldn't be surprised to see them, sell out before the end of Christmas. And Republic Gunships are just some of the safest investments ever. The UCS Republic Gunship was loathed by collectors and fans everywhere because they cheaped out on the minifig usage. But at the end of the day, the set is still amazing. It's massive. It's humongous. So even though the minifigs weren't good, the set itself more than made up for it and kind of shielded it from any kind of lasting detriment and retirement. The Gunship's actually doing better market value wise than the Mos Eisley Cantina, and I think the Cantina is a way better set. But what do people want? Gunships? What did people not buy a lot of? The UCS Republic gunship, specifically because of the issues and because there's a higher, bar to entry than like a Republic gunship like this would be. So I'm super happy to have a bunch of these. So you can watch for those. You have to watch for big box retailers their sales going on popular sets, learn about them, watch videos on what there could be available for Black Friday, and then just prepare yourself to get up early. If you want something, scoop on the deal immediately. If you don't scoop on the deal will disappear. People are that hungry for these sets. And let's go to the next two. This set I really, really liked, and I always wanted one of these. Executor class Super Star Destroyer. This is Vader's Star Destroyer in Return of the Jedi, one that crashes into the Death Star and ends up blowing up. They made a UCS version of this. It sounds like they're going to remake this UCS set come next year, maybe year after. Have it heavily implied, and they should, because this is one of the coolest original UCS sets that they ever did, around 2007, I believe. I was way too young to be able to afford a $300 Lego set back then, but when they make the next one, yeah, I'm going to be getting that. I really like the set too because it is the first Midi scale Lego Star Wars set. It's a cool one. It's not a random rebel ship. It's not, it's something that people care about at the end of the day. And Star Destroyers are pretty cool. It's got some Midi scale regular Star Destroyers with it. The plaque has the 40th anniversary sticker here. That's pretty sought after. Pretty nice bonus to the set. Got this for, I believe it was half off. I think I got that one from Walmart. And then the thing I am most excited to have another copy of, the Lego Daily Bugle, what I regard to be the best superhero modular building that they've ever made. And I don't think it's even close, really. You obviously have the Avengers Tower. Pretty cool set. Almost double the price. Avengers Tower retailed for $500. This thing, you could get it as low as $224 on Black Friday. So not even half the price with the discount. Why is it cool besides the set itself, which is massive? Really well detailed. The catwalks, the little stairways are sick. Exploding building. But they went out of their way on their first modular set to make sure that it was going to be loved. They put every character that they could think of in this thing. Let's take a look. You got Daredevil, Punisher, Blade. Obviously your normal assortment of Spider-Man characters. But you even got some random ones too. Firestar. You got Black Cat. Not as much of a random one. Look at all these characters. Peter's news friends in the company. Goblin, all the assortment of villains. Set's cool, man. I would not want to miss out on having at least one of these before it retires. It's massive. Seen it in person. It's going to be probably the majority of the box tall, once it's all assembled. That's what I remember it being. And $224, you can't beat that. That was an Amazon deal that they had going. Other retailers have had, and Amazon themselves have had other deals. Just to have a deal like this right before retirement, this is what you are looking for with a Lego deal. This is absolutely the best situation and scenario you could find yourself in. They don't always go on sale right before they retire. Sometimes they do. Most of the time, for smaller stuff, they do. But the big stuff, you might not always get that lucky. So if you see a good deal, pick it up, man. I picked up a second copy of this off Facebook Marketplace. And that's another place that I go to for really, really good deals. Marketplace is great because a lot of people will buy this set. They'll have it in the box forever. They'll be like, oh, I'm waiting for it to grow. I'm waiting for it to grow in, price or whatever. Or I'm not sure if I should open it yet. I'm not sure if I can justify it. People are needing to make quick money, so they'll sell it at a fraction of its value. So I bought a second one during Black Friday from a local reseller. So super happy I have another Bugle, another couple Bugles. What else did we pick up? That's the majority of the current sets. I didn't feel like there was as many that I was looking for personally. My model is to only buy sets that I care about. So just in case I'm sitting on it for a little while, I might break it open and build it. You never know. What else did I pick up? Let's see. This is one of the coolest sets they've ever made. And it's also a exclusive set that you could only get on the LEGO website for about a day, because this set was originally supposed to be an exclusive for Comic-Con during COVID when they canned it. Set retailed for $30. Got a decent deal on it on Whatnot. The box is in almost pristine shape. Look at that. Looks like it's right off the shelves. Not much damage at all. Comes with the 40th anniversary Empire sticker. Very, very cool set. Super happy to have it. The Luke's, I think he used to be rare. I don't know if there's any difference between this Skywalker and the Skywalker that came in the Dagobah training set. But regardless, this is a must-have for any LEGO Star Wars collector. This is something they would be dying to have. One of the coolest sets ever. From, I would say, the most important Star Wars scene ever. What else did we pick up? What else did we get? So I got the Helms Deep. And then the Helms Deep is retired. Back when it came out, they actually came with 2 expansions that you could get. Or, I have 2 of them. They came out with the 2 expansions for the set. And you can make your castle of Helm's Deep even larger with these. And these sets are going to pair so well with my army of Urkai, orcs, goblins, yada yada that I got here. Picked up a couple others. The elf from The Hobbit, Senor Gollum. And I'm really excited to have these on display with the Helm's Deep, the expansions, right next to my Rivendell set. It's going to be fabulous. Can't wait to show you guys. As far as Star Wars goes, what do we get for minifigs? Got Iden Versio from the Battlefront 2 game in the Battle Pack. Retired fig. Got a really good deal on her. I actually really enjoyed that campaign. If you haven't played that campaign and you're a Star Wars lover, highly recommend playing it. It's not too long, but it has some of my favorite, not only moments that we've had from a Disney video game, but also one of my favorite moments involving Luke Skywalker before he turned into a bum. Picked up a Jawa. And go with any Tatooine set, especially the Cantina. Jet Trooper, 501st Battle Pack, the original one, no helmet holes. And then 2 of my favorites here, Sadly Sean and a Republic Trooper from the Old Republic. I really like her because I didn't play much of the MMO. I played some of it. It wasn't really my cup of tea. And I was playing it back when it was free to play, so nobody was even really playing it. That was a problem. But I picked her up especially because the character is the granddaughter of Bastila Shan, who is one of the main characters in the Knights of the Old Republic video games, 2003 and 2004. My favorite games of all time. Those games centralized around heavy RPG choices. They really fleshed out the characters, fully voiced lines. It was a full-on, almost like a movie production in a video game. And that was back in 2003. So, what would I do moving forward for LEGO? Me, myself, I like to find good deals on whatnot for minifigs. You want to make sure that you're searching to make sure that you know the value of the minifig before you start bidding on it, because the bidding goes fast, it goes crazy, and it's easy to make a mistake and overbid on something that you don't need to overspend on. You can just buy it on eBay or somewhere else if the minifig is going for an outrageous amount on the auctions, because they do get crazy sometimes depending on the size of the creator. Larger the creator, the more likely the minifig auction is going to go to the moon. And what else would I keep in mind for Black Friday? The flash sales, man. You got to get those flash sales. I think the third thing is to do a lot of research, figure out if there's Discords, YouTube videos, any kind of resources that you can use to figure out if a set like the Daily Bugle that's retiring soon is on a crazy discount, because you need to be up. You need to be awake. Get up at 5 a.m. if you're on the West Coast, maybe a little sooner. Lego's deals usually go around midnight. A lot of them will start. So staying up till midnight, you got to figure out the cycles, the product sales cycles, and you have to buy those sets immediately if you want them. The Bugle was a max 1 of 1. I recommended it to most of my friends. They had any kind of interest at all in it. And within me recommending it to a handful of my friends, it was out of stock within, probably that hour. It didn't last long at all. What else would I do? I try to only buy sets that are about to retire, mostly so if I don't end up wanting to open the set, I'm not sitting on it for a bunch of years just waiting for it to go up in price. You want to be very particular about what you buy. Me, myself, I'm only going to buy something that I'm interested in, because I don't want to have a bunch of Minecraft sets laying around and I don't care at all about Minecraft, etc., etc. And also the size of the set. The bigger sets, Ultimate Collector Series sets, any kind of sets like that, those sets will go extremely fast. Usually they go faster than any of the play scale sets because they don't make as many of these. Not nearly as many. They're more sought after. The price point's higher. It's a bigger barrier to entry to people. It's all economics, really. And the flash sales do help if we're able to get some of those from creators, but those are extremely hard to get. You have to be on fast internet. You have to be immediate with your purchases. And you have to be setting reminders for yourself, alarms, whatever you need to do to actually make sure you secure those flash sale sets. Let's talk about sets that I've gotten in the past on Black Friday on crazy good deals some that have sold out almost right away. UCS Republic Gunship, $275. Amazon last year. Told a handful of family members, just buy it. Just buy it. Today, 2 years later, it's selling for $475. That's after everybody bought out the discounted sets. The set ran out of quantities that you could buy before the end of the year. Then it was gone. That's how LEGO works a lot of the time. As long as they retire the set, they could just completely disappear. And we're kind of seeing that with the Batman Gotham City vignette style. It's almost like a UCS set from the animated series. That set, highly sought after, went on sale for $224. I kind of waited a bit on it, like a dummy. I knew I kind of wanted it. Waited on it. sold out almost immediately once people were awake and everything. Took a minute, but it did sell out. Now it's going on eBay for over $400, sold plus shipping. So you could have gotten one from $225, whatever. Turn immediately doubles for those kind of marketplaces. So you have to be really careful. Other sets that I've gotten on good discount. I think the double points for VIP is a good idea for LEGO exclusives that aren't going to be on Amazon. I got two of the Revenge of the Sith brickheads, and I only got those because those were almost 50% off. I think they were 40. So instead of paying $50 for 5 brickheads, you're paying $30. It's the most popular movie, I would say, to modern generations. And not only that, but the brickheads were actually just drastically better than a lot of the other ones. You weren't getting random characters that nobody cared about, like with the first group, the first multi-pack, but also even the Phantom Menace one. You got Quigon, you got Darth Maul, I think it was like Jar Jar, Anakin, and Padme. And they're cool. I really like 2 of the characters, but the other ones I could have seen them substitute out, Jar Jar Binks and substitute in Obi-Wan Kenobi, Padawan Obi-Wan from Episode 1. I think that would have helped the sales of the set. And realistically, Jar Jar is a pivotal character, but he's not as pivotal as Obi-Wan. For the Revenge of the Sith one, they did a great job. They gave us Palpatine. They gave us Grievous. They gave us Anakin, Sith Eyes and Not. They gave us Mace Windu. Like, all these characters are characters that people get excited about. People get really, really excited about. So I picked up a couple of those. Pretty happy to have those. Those are already sold out. They might be retired already. LEGO might still have some stock, but it's going to retire at the end of the year regardless. So, the big takeaway from this video: get the sales early, man. Get those sales. Figure out when they are. Do your research. Watch videos if you need to. And I hope you enjoyed this, because this is the way to buy LEGO sets. There's no reason to pay full retail. Why would I pay full retail on Why would I pay $160 after tax for a Republic gunship that realistically should cost maybe $90? I would rather have the ATTE that came out a couple years ago. Rather have that every day of the week than the turbo. I can't even call it the turbo tank. It's more like the tiny tank. The same thing with the MTT. That thing's even more expensive, I believe. And they're scaling a lot of these new sets down a lot. That's one benefit to the Bugle compared to some of the newer modulars. I mean, you're going to spend about the same price on the Bugle on the sale as you will whenever the X Mansion goes on sale. The most it's going to go on sale for is probably going to be that same $225. And the set's drastically larger, way more minifigures, and I think just, at least a 2 times better set. And Spider-Man? Sign me up. Alright, I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you're doing your research, get the sets before they retire, get some good deals, don't sit on things. And please sub, like, all that stuff. See you for the next one.